the committee so that they are prepared to address any request for hearing. Yvonne, you got that action?
Yes. I will get everybody together and make a date.
And Yvonne, if you'll create a standard form of notification of the intent to, to levy a fine, so we can do it the same way every time. I think that I'm going to do a little research to see if it, because what I don't want to happen is don't want hand delivery to a tenant and then an owner not to get notification if they're, live somewhere else and the tenant never tells them. That's not a very fair situation for the owner. So we need to talk about that.
Yes, absolutely. It would be email and physical presence and possibly a mailer. It's a regular mail, so it would be cheap.
Okay, next item on the agenda is concrete repairs. I know we had put a proposal out for 23 spots that have concrete spalling that need to be repaired. They are cosmetic in nature, not structural. Yvonne, have we gotten, I believe the outstanding action there was for Raymond to give us specifics in the contract to the 23 areas that were going to be repaired so we could move forward with that. Have we received that information from him yet?
And I will pull it up right now.
Later, Katie.
Yes, he had sent some photos. It's actually 15 areas, 123 unit equivalent units, aerial lift areas, linear cracked ceiling area joints. This is for preventative maintenance? Is that true, or preventive maintenance, or is this something that has to be done? I don't recall seeing that on the search. $33,731 is what it would cost.
Yeah, I thought it was around 47K. But we have a long list of items that need to be addressed, and we need to review. I personally need to look at the SERS study, the funding that has been set aside, how much is there, and a consolidated list of the recommended improvements before I am comfortable motioning to proceed with the concrete repairs. That's my personal opinion on the concrete repair situation. That's all I have to say about that. Any other discussion?
Also, our new board needs to be familiar with this as well. Our new board members, right?
Right. And I don't think we've gotten that information out to them in advance of this meeting to be prepared to vote to proceed.
No, we've had a lot going on, so yes.
Anybody want to move forward with concrete repairs? Okay, so action on the concrete repairs is let's get the proposal with the details of what specifically needs to be repaired in conjunction with a package of the other prioritized items and the budget, so that we are prepared at the next meeting to look at the prioritized list, the budget, and the contracts. And let's make sure that we have multiple contracts to review bids from.
Agreed. Okay. I will do that.
Okay. Door cleaning and painting remedy. I think we talked about that. I had talked about if we sweep through, there are a lot of doors that need to be cleaned, painted, scraped. I had personally gone through the Essex and Avon buildings, the third floor of Devon. I took photographs of every door that is deficient. I believe we have an inventory of the Bristol building as well, and those that need to be addressed. I don't know if we have the other 3 floors of the Devon building, identifying those. I had wanted to propose that we send notifications out to those people that need their doors cleaned, painted, and sanded. Ask them if they do not take care of those. We proceed with the resolution that we just passed. If it doesn't get addressed in spite of the fines, what I wanted to propose, I believe in the bylaws, it allows us to go in and remedy maintenance situations of units that do not take action to resolve them, right? So we can find people, but we're still stuck with messy doors, right? So what I wanted to propose was if we send those notices out, we find the folks, they still don't take care of it, we use the stipulations within the bylaws that allows us to go in and remedy it. We let folks know that between the third week in February, we have a contractor here that's going to clean, scrape, and paint your door for $100 a door. If you don't sign up and pay him to take care of those doors within that window, be prepared to receive a fine and for us to come in and remedy the situation. And if we as the association come in and remedy the situation, it's going to cost you a lot more because we're going to be managing the contract, paying for it out of pocket, and having to chase you for the money. So I can put all that in writing, but I wanted to openly discuss that with the board here to see what your thoughts are on addressing this long overdue door situation.
Agreed?
Agreed. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah. Press agreed? Yes, Helen?
What about the damage done by, obviously, termites? Because when I was going around in Bristol, there's a lot of damage that's done by termites.
Correct.
So that's separate.
So here are my thoughts. Here are my thoughts on that, Yvonne. I'm sorry, Helen and Yvonne, everybody.
You and I have talked about this, so talk to them.
So my thoughts on the termite situation is the association and many other associations charge units and make it the responsibility of the homeowners to take care of the termites. If the termites are coming from within the walls and the inspectors or the pest control folks tell you that you have a problem inside the common area, the association is responsible for coming in and addressing things behind the walls. But you have a responsibility to bring it to the attention of the management company and the board to address that situation. If you don't take care of the termite situation and you let your doors fall off the hinges, then from my opinion, my perspective, and this is just Maureen, too bad. You now have to replace your door because you didn't stay on top of the termites. I mean, I had to tear apart, when I first bought Avon 404, I tore it apart, I heat treated the unit. I didn't even know, I didn't even think that I could call the association and have them take care of the problem. I have termites in my door frame. I went down to AAA, I got this squirt thing and I took care of it and the termites are gone. So we do our best. We have the association comes in, they treat for rats, they treat for termites. Yvonne sends out notifications for folks to get on the list to treat the units, come into the units and treat the units. If we don't have people monitoring the units and treating the units, then guess what? You have to replace your door and your frame. That's my 2 cents.
Also, we have spoken, and I know in the past, you guys, before I even came here, have tried to put a tent on the entire building, which is it's a huge thing. It can be done. It's very expensive, but it can be done. And that would actually rid them all. However, if we have one unit that does not want to leave for the 2 days, only one, if they say no, you can't do it. We can't do it. And it has happened once before. They had a few people that said they refused to leave. And if that's the case, now we have to continue spot treating, unfortunately, because they do move around, right? So I think to stay on top of the spotting at minimum would be the best to move forward. But if there is a problem with your door, you would have to get it changed out if it's that bad. And we have a couple of common area doors we have to do too, which we are taking care of as well. We're getting quotes for that now too.
Hey, that reminds me, Yvonne, I saw some termite damage on, I can't remember what the unit is. It's across from Devon 316, so that would be 313.
Okay.
Anyway, there you could see the dust there. That person, I'm surprised they haven't asked you to put them on the list.
Yeah.
But anyway, Helen, that's my answer. That's my opinion. You know.
Guys, so if you want to see me after the meeting and put your name on the list, I'd be happy to put it on.
Well, you know, some of these might not be the termite damage. It almost looks like somebody chewed on some of the stuff. You know, wood is just rotten.
No,
that's deteriorating. Yeah.
And you have to live with it. I think that you go ahead and do something about it.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah. Okay, you ready to move forward, or did you want to?
Yeah, is there any more discussion on door cleaning and painting remedy?
I was just going to tell you that even though the door is the responsibility or ownership does belong to the owner, we can still require certain things because it happens all the time. But for example, the doors have to be a certain color. The mere fact that it is owned and is the responsibility of the owner doesn't mean that it cannot be regulated, much like the cars in the parking lot need to have stickers on them. But if after a period of time someone's let their door just fall into complete disrepair, the association then will step in and fix it and then charge that to the owner, and that is provided in the statute. I'm reading it right now.
It's also provided in our bylaws. I can't remember specifically where.
I'm just saying it doesn't require any, that's not a change.
Okay, new business A, eligibility requirements for new board members. Yvonne sent a previous communication out in Buildium that you must be a member of the association. To be a member of the association, you have to own title to the property. And in order to be on the board, you have to be a member, right? So, so that is why Ray DiTomasino is no longer on the board. And there was significant debate. He did not want to resign his position. So we did do that research. We did find that you must be a member of the association to sit on the board.
Where did you do that research, Maureen?
Dennis, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, it is a little more complicated than that, but our bylaws say that you must be a member. And you can be so that's the first, you can be a member, or you can be an appointed representative of a corporate owner, because in that case, the corporate owner is the entity and you are the appointed representative of that corporation. Those are the two choices. That's all, it's A and B, that's all there is. There's case law that supports that. It's what the statute says. It's what our bylaws say. And I haven't seen really any, I've heard opinions to the contrary, but I've not seen any evidence to the contrary.
Okay. Can you explain how Jamie was able to get on the board?
Jamie, which I did not make that choice, but
Good.
if I were to extrapolate from that, and I do not know these answers, so I don't know, I'm speaking only anecdotally. Mm-hmm. I believe that the unit that she lived in was owned by a corporation, and she would have qualified as the appointed person of that corporation.
Oh, her husband's a corporation. Oh, okay. As long as her husband's a corporation. Thank you, Dennis.
I don't know.
Well, her husband's a corporation. Okay, thank you, Dennis.
Well, okay, well, I'd like to answer that. So if her husband is the owner, then she owns it by tenants by the entirety, which is the law in Florida, which would make her an owner. So that, whether she's on the deed or not doesn't matter.
That is correct. I looked it up.
Oh, well, that makes it all a fact. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love the sarcasm. Okay. It's so helpful. That's moving on. We have candidates for the open treasurer board position. I would like to, I guess I'm going to ask for a volunteer on the board to fill the position of the treasurer. Or shall I nominate Chris Nemeth? Would you accept the nomination, Chris?
To be honest, I would rather look somewhere else. My finance background was put forth when I showed my interest, was more at level of financial planning and like macro budgeting. I was a very, very large organization, had absolutely nothing to do. I was 5 steps removed from things like accounts payable and disbursements and all of that type of business. I have no experience with that whatsoever. And to be honest, also I'd be a little selfish. I just had my second surgery to end 25, had a big one to start 25, and I'm not really looking for
Would you be willing to be a second approver on invoice payments?
That I could do,
Okay,
if that helps fill a gap.
yeah,
Just need- Yeah,
it definitely does help fill a gap.
yeah.
We don't have to have, we can have somebody with a dual role, dual position as a treasurer. John or Frank, would either of you be willing to fill the role, the position of treasurer, director?
No, not treasurer.
Okay.
We
All right,
actually,
as long as we have a second signatory, I'm okay with that. We do have an open vice president position as well.
Oh, I mean,
so treasurer would review the financials. Also, Becky would be in touch with you more often from our accounting department to discuss things. Really, the treasurer is the one that approves the invoices along with the president. We need 2 approvers on any invoices that are sent out, the checks are sent out. So we can't approve them until we have 2 people. And it's just a matter of getting an email, reviewing the invoice, letting me know, hey, was this work done? Is it accurate? Yes. Okay.
It's not preparing anything or making.
No,
no.
it's not.
No, it's reviewing the month-end financials, really. Another set of eyes on the month-end financials and signing off on the invoices.
Don said yes.
Yay! I did see a hand come up. Who were the official members of the board? It's Frank Danforth. Frank, wave your hand.
Frank's here, yep.
Yeah.
And then John Porter is, wave your hand, John. Okay, Chris is online, wave your hand. Maureen Bell right here. Dennis Worley. Those are your five representatives. Okay, is there anybody that wants to self-nominate for the vice president position?
Oh, boy. Okay.
Frank, you're stepping up, okay. Nominate Frank for vice president position on the board. Do we have a second?
I second it.
And all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Good. And MRC representative, Frank already volunteered for that position. We need a second person to volunteer. It's open for anybody in the community as well as board members. Do we have any volunteers to fill MRC representation?
It's Helen.
Helen's volunteering. I nominate Helen to represent River Shores Association on the Middle River Club. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Helen.
I didn't hear a response from John.
Helen said aye, yep.
Okay, so it's unanimous. All right, thank you. Okay, moving on to project priorities. We talked about common doors, elevators. Elevators has been my nemesis since I started on the board. As a matter of fact, I got a call at the end of the year from Nouveau Elevator, and they wanted to know if we were going to pay the $30,000 cancellation fee in their contract. And I had quite an interesting conversation with the gentleman on the phone. I told him I had spent endless hours showing how they owed River Shores $600 after I had spent endless hours going through invoices and showing how they had charged us for services that weren't delivered, and we had no intention of paying the $30,000, and we had no intention for paying the maintenance service fees going forward because they had not delivered services. They had parts in the elevator room that were not installed. They charged us $28,000 for the Devon travel cable when it was really a $13,000 job. They charged us $600 a month for services that weren't rendered. After having said that, we still had a significant amount of expenses. Science Elevator has come in. We are not under contract with them. They have been very helpful to us. We have an inspection report with some violations that need to be addressed. Yvonne has the contracts or the proposals to replace that. I believe Frank has some input from one of the elevator service companies that is servicing River Bend, River Terrace. We need to take that into consideration. We do have some money set aside. and I know I'm going fast, guys, I'm sorry, but trying to get to the bottom line here. The elevators in the Avon building